We're going to keep on going to a monthly special that has been breaking records this month. Andrew's Coenzyme Q10, recognized as one of the most important ingredients to supplement, a common sense energy product. If you are struggling with the daily grind, you're feeling that fatigue, this is the #1 way to do it. And Andrew, I can't undersell the reality, which is of all the wonderful supplements and products that you bring us, perhaps the most popular of all, I know it's certainly in the top 3, is your CoQ10.
Well, if there's anything that sort of put my company on the map, originally 45 years ago, it was our additive-free multivitamins. And then I'm dating myself, so back in 1984, 41 years ago, I believe we were the first company in America to offer CoQ10. And it's something that long before anyone else considered it, I was talking about how CoQ10 is sort of this unheralded, untalked about nutrient responsible for electron movement, electron transport within our cells that was central to the energy process. You hear a lot of companies talking about nicotinamide riboside or nicotinamide mononucleotide or getting IVs of NAD rather, and it's just, they could talk about those things all they want and they may hold benefits, but still the foundation, nothing comes close to the benefits of CoQ10. And if you're not investing in CoQ10 and you started investing there, it's like building a house without putting a foundation. If you study the way our cells function and the way energy is produced in a mitochondria, you're not going to contemplate doing any of those things without first focusing on CoQ10. And CoQ10 today is our monthly special because we've recently lowered the price across the board on all our CoQ10 products. It's basically like today's special pricing, a full 200 milligram supply, 240 capsules for $99. In the past, you usually say 200 milligrams would be $2 a capsule, $1 per 100 milligrams. So that means 240 capsules would be about $480. So to think about it today versus that was back in the 1980s, to think about it today at being under $100 for 240 capsules is an absolute bargain. And our CoQ10 is special. Just the CoQ10 itself is special, natural, pure. Also, we provide a full B-complex. We provide separate vitamin C. It's what has made this product probably as well-reviewed a CoQ10 product as you'll ever find. And frankly, there's no other company that has more experience or longer experience making a CoQ10 supplement than we do. I don't know of any other company that back in the mid-1980s was also making CoQ10. And if there were, they're not around anymore. I'm one of the last guys still standing who continues to make supplements and started making supplements back in the 1970s when I started. So this is something you get to benefit from our experience with a difficult to handle raw material and deliver to you in a perfect formula that delivers the benefits that you hope for. Again, the reviews are virtually perfect on this product.
And you can see pricing-wise, as Andrew said, almost at today's special pricing, which is remarkable. That's why so many folks have ordered it since it launched at the beginning of May. 30, 60, 120, or 240. It's the world's best Coenzyme Q10, world's best. Regular pricing is 150, just shy. We're under 100 with FlexPay, and of course, you can see the savings there. Look, up and down this great country, there are shops and stores selling CoQ10 products, and you can compare them certainly, but there is a clear winner, and it is Andrew's. As a pioneer in America in really shining the spotlight on CoQ10, so many of us trust Andrew's CoQ10 to help us every single day. It's something I take every day. So people often ask, well, how do you maintain all this energy, all these crazy hours? It's hard. It's hard not to want to reach for another cup of coffee or those energy drinks, which seems to be a symptom of this generation. The reality is I take CoQ10 every day, and it really has a massive impact in a naturally wonderful way. Andrew, when you look at this versus some of the other more artificial ways of trying to maintain that zest for life, clearly this is a better route to go.
Yeah, and just on sort of one like kind of fundamental level, if you really think about it, when we do is take a stimulant, whether it's caffeine-based or some of those energy drinks, I mean, what are they, like Red Bull and things like that, have high levels of caffeine. Yeah, you stimulate your nervous system, You stimulate various systems in your body. You stimulate your adrenals. You give yourself a sensation of energy. There isn't anything healthy about doing that. It's extremely short term. And yes, you do have a sense of energy. But if I want to look at energy practically, if I look at my body and the 100 trillion plus cells in my body, if I could do something that empowers each of those cells, or even better, in every one of those cells are thousands of mitochondria, and mitochondria is where the energy in each cell is made. And each cell is responsible for its own energy. It can't rely on its neighbor to make energy for it. There's no powerhouses outside making energy for our cells. Each cell has powerhouses within. And those powerhouses rely on CoQ10 to move those electrons around that creates the energy we experience. So CoQ10 is the most common sense way to transform that energetic opportunity, as we might call it, in each and every one of our cells. So I'd much rather see a small incremental change in energy in 100 trillion cells than stimulate my brain and nervous system, potentially burn out my adrenals. I mean, it's just not a common sense approach to creating energy. Sometimes we might need to do it for whatever task we have to handle, but in the long term, the healthy way to support energy, and frankly, look at where CoQ10 is most concentrated in our heart, in our brain, in our liver, in our muscles. Why? Because these are the organs that can't ever have an uninterrupted supply or have an interrupted supply of energy. They must have a constant supply of energy. It can't be interrupted. Therefore, CoQ10, by its very presence there, lets you know how critical those tissues are and how critical CoQ10 is.
Yeah, and I think that that's something that so many of you and I have realized over the years. Again, when we understand what's going on and we realize what's maybe a better choice for us, it is an easy yes. This is CoQ10. It's available in the 4 different sizes. By all means, try it with the 30 capsules. That special pricing comes in at under $20. There's a 6120 or the 240. That is not the everyday price, but it is for this month. So under $100 gives you a really ample supply. And again, that's a saving of $50. People in all different walks of life, it might be work, it might be family life, it might be just stress and strain, choose Coenzyme Q10. There's so many reasons to give it a go. Obviously, we believe this is the best. And Andrew, let's end the way we started. It was all those years ago that you introduced it, and now it is a firm favorite across the country of all different brands, but people are now more turned on to it than ever before.
When I introduced it in the 80s, I spent most of my time at that time in my company educating doctors about the benefits and the utility of CoQ10. It's just not something that anyone knew about unless they really paid careful attention to their biochemistry or to their physiology textbook back in the day. I was poo-pooed and dismissed by other folks selling vitamins that it was just a silly ingredient. Then, of course, it took about 20 years, but then everyone else, all the other companies embraced this with a vengeance. And now you can hardly go into a drugstore, pharmacy, supermarket, discount store without seeing dozens of bottles of CoQ10 on the shelves. I walk down the aisles, it just puts a smile on my face because I still remember clearly when I was, whatever you want to say, enduring the slings and arrows of criticism, why I was selling this needless ingredient, why I was selling this unimportant ingredient. And I would always just say, read a textbook, read some research, and you'll understand why. And that's when I realized that most vitamin companies are run or owned by bankers, by business people, not by someone who has a technical background, a scientific background, who's actually reading the research and letting the science in hand with Mother Nature determine the products we made. And that's why CoQ10 appeared at my company. So if you've been following me for a long time, you've been getting the incredible brain, heart, and health benefits of CoQ10 for at least 41 years, decades before anyone else.
Well, with over 3,600 perfect 5-star reviews, who's laughing now? Thank you so much for all your orders on our monthly special. Let us know what you think by leaving a review. I did just get word as well, folks, as we move to our next item. We're going to end this show with a surprise. I can see what it is.